Hello everybody and welcome to Star Mountain Hikes. I'm John and today I am atop Etna Summit in Siskiyou County, California, and I'm hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail south into the Russian wilderness. So come on and join me. So it appears, even though it's mid-June, that there's still quite a bit of snow on the north side of the mountains here. So we'll see just how far I can get. I might not be able to do everything I wanted to, but it's sure going to be pretty. Look at this view. Look at this little retaining wall they constructed here. Really pretty. And we had some paintbrushes. Here's some serviceberry. Some succulents in here even. No idea what they are. And it's just kind of a nice little rock garden here. Not the prettiest one I've seen, but not bad. I'll take it. Now I find myself in a dense fir forest. And most of the species in here are white fir, or most of the trees in here are white fir. But there's also one of my favorite, or probably my favorite type of fir tree, which is Abies magnifica, or red fir. And there's one right there, center screen. It has darker bark, and its needles are just more symmetrical. If you look at the needles toward the top there, a lot of people like them for Christmas trees just for that reason. Okay, so we're a little over a mile in, and the forest opened up to a little bit of a view of the mountains over there, and there is a water source, and in fact it looks like a spring that starts right up the hill there, probably right where that rock is. Now it's time to just keep going. I actually don't need water. I packed in quite a bit. Okay, I almost didn't film the view from this side because I think we're going to be view rich in content in this episode, but I decided to do it anyway. I'm kind of looking to the northwest here, and I can see some of those peaks there are in the Marble Mountain wilderness. Let's zoom in on one here. There's one right next to this tree. You can see that peak back there. I'm sure that's in the Marble Mountain wilderness. A little bit more. Beautiful. Here's the first little patch of snow to cross. I was a little worried about this at the trailhead because there was snow at the trailhead and along the road on the way to the trailhead. So we'll just see what it's like deeper in. I was just skirting around the first few drifts, but these look a bit deeper and bigger. This is really not looking good. Let's give it a shot anyway. The snow is actually pretty hard packed, and I haven't sunk in yet, and I don't see any other post holes in there. So if it stays like this, I can do it. But if I'm post holing, I don't know if it's going to work. Let's go see. This is a tree species I haven't seen in a long time. This is mountain hemlock. There we go. And if I pan over here slowly, you can see the red fir is a little better. Very beautiful. And I think I forgot to mention that there's a subspecies called Shasta red fir that might be around here. They're Abies magnifica variation shastiensis. That's probably what we have here. I'd have to look at the map of them to find out. Okay, that's the way I came from. I've gone exactly 1.7 miles. Still quite a bit of snow up here. And this is the way I'm going to be going. And I decided to take a pack-off break just to rest a little bit. And I haven't really told you what my plans are for this adventure. I was thinking of this as kind of a lake bagging adventure. So I could get in here and photograph some lakes and maybe paint them in the future because I'm a little bit of an artist. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. Alright, it really wasn't very much further until I got out of that snowy section. And now it looks like we may be coming up on some views. Let's check them out. Oh yeah, this is insanely beautiful. Man, worth climbing over the snow for. Man, I kind of came around a corner and hit the saddle and just happened to glimpse this great view of Mount Shasta. Really awesome. I climbed that puppy about 25 years ago. Okay, if I get blocked by snow or something, I could side hill it across that peak down to that little saddle there and then make it down to that little valley to camp. And I hear water flowing down there and there's meadows. It's just beautiful. I think there might even be a lake down there that I just can't see behind the trees. I think it's called Meeks Meadow Lake or something like that. So anyway, I have a plan B now. Oh, and let me just finish off the view here. Look at that. That's awesome. You can see the Scott River Valley down there and then Mount Shasta in the background. Okay, so right here, I do believe Taylor Lake is down in the canyon below us somewhere. And then Hogan Lake is kind of right there between these two little mountains there. And then you get up to Big Blue Lake from Hogan Lake. So I don't know if I want to go straight down the mountain to get to Taylor Lake and then explore up in there. I definitely have to see Big Blue Lake because it's beautiful. Or just at the end of the trip, make another little trip, drive to the trailhead, which is only like a quarter mile from Taylor Lake, and then explore that trail from there, which might be the better course of action. Originally, I thought maybe I could cross those peaks and then get to Big Blue Lake from Paynes Lake, but yeah, with the snow on it like that, probably not a good idea. Okay, a different type of tree here. This is curl leaf mountain mahogany. There's also a birch leaf mountain mahogany. Pretty cool. It's more of a desert species, really. So this little slope must be dry. The phlox is going bonkers out here. Look at all this. Really beautiful. Alright, I just got some bad news. There's a really bad section of trail for about a mile over in front of me. And it's deep snow. One of the guys said they almost died. So I was looking at the mountain. All the snow's on one side. So I'm going to try to bushwhack around it and find the trail on the other side to avoid that nasty snow patch there. Because I don't want to die. Alright, this is where I find myself doing a nasty boulder scramble and also through some brush too. And hopefully this is easier than the snow way. I'll have to take those guys' advice. They seem like pretty experienced backpackers. They're doing a section from Castle Crags to Etna, so at least they're almost done. I'm just getting started. Okay, I'm kind of on the north side of the peak, still boulder scrambling, And man, this is hard with a full pack. Whew. I'm up on top of the mountain between Taylor Lake and the PCT. And so finally on the south side here, I should be able to get down a lot easier, I hope. This was a hell of a boulder scramble and going through thick brush. It was tiring. I stopped for lunch and now I need to make up some time. Well, not really. I've got all day. I've got until what gets dark at 9 or so. So I've still got 8 hours probably of sunlight. So no hurries, no worries. Well, would you look at that? I do believe that's Smith Lake down there. Pretty cool. Looks like it has an ice shelf over it. The ice is still melting. Now I've got to find a way off this steep son of a gun. Drats. Alright, I see the PCT from here. And it looks like it's going to go up and through there and then through that stretch of snow. It's going to be kind of bad. We'll see how bad when I get there. But anyway, let me zoom in for you so you can see it too a little better. See right there? That's where I'm going. Yay, I just made it back to the trail, but I'm wrecked. I might need to take an hour-long break or something just to recuperate. Okay, this is at a 90-degree angle here, straight out from my eye line. And this is the peak I just climbed down. I know it doesn't look like much, but man, that was a struggle. And now, as you can see, I'm at the saddle where the trail to Taylor Lake takes off and goes down. It's supposed to be a steep little trail. And I'm exhausted and I'm almost out of water. So I think the logical thing to do would be to just go down to Taylor Lake and camp there. Not really what I had planned, but at least from there I can take off to Hogan Lake tomorrow and maybe even Big Blue. Man, I'm still almost only halfway down, and this is one of the slipperiest trails I've ever been on. It's all loose rock. Whew! I can't wait to get to camp. Good morning, everybody. It is day 2. Yesterday afternoon, I was beat. I was beat down to a pulp, let me tell you. I got to a worthy place to make camp, and my legs started shaking, and then so I rested for a little while, and then they started cramping up. I had some liquid IV and some ibuprofen, and they felt a little better, but man, yeah, that was a hard day yesterday. Today I'm hoping is not going to be as hard. I think I'm going to reduce my goals on this trip greatly. Now I'm just going to go to Hogan, see if there's any chance I can make it to Big Blue Lake. I doubt it. I think it's a very steep climb on a north slope, so it's going to be snowed in. But we'll see. Never say never, right? And then I'm going to head back out to Taylor Lake here, and then it's actually kind of a shortcut to the car to just walk the road from the Taylor Lake trailhead to the PCT trailhead. So I think that's what I'm going to do to finish up this trip. That's what's nice about these kind of trips. You can be flexible depending on the conditions, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's the situation. I just had breakfast. I'm just going to hang out here, no hurries. It's about 3.5 miles, I believe, to Hogan Lake from here. So I'm just going to take it slow, enjoy the day, and see how things go. Here's another view of the mountain I climbed over yesterday. What the heck was I thinking? It appears that they wanted to raise the level of the lake at one point. What a construction project. Okay, here is the steep gravelly chute that I climbed down yesterday. The PCT is right at the top of that. Alright, this is take 2 because I looked funny with my hat like that. So, I'm on my way now. I'm glad I left when I did because day hikers were starting to arrive. And, yeah, it's going to be a great hike today. Okay, this is an incredible view of the mountain that I hiked up and over. And right in the middle is the chute that I hiked down to get to the lake. Freaking nuts, man. That thing's straight up and down. I am not going back that way. So I think the plan of going to Hogan Lake and then just hiking out to the trailhead and finishing the trip that way, that works for me. Because that's nasty. You can barely see the lake down below there. There's the chute that I hiked down yesterday. And this trail has been surprisingly well constructed. It's one of those old trails that have stood the test of time, I can tell. And it's going up this way. There's been numerous switchbacks, but they're more, PCT style switchbacks that are long and gradual with keeping a minimum amount of slope that you have to climb instead of just going straight up the mountain. And I appreciate the dedication and quality of trail construction. Oh, this is awesome. It looks like I'm making it to the top of the hill. That wasn't so bad. Let's keep going. Getting a view of the Marble Mountains through the trees here as I'm hiking along. I may go out there closer to the edge and get a better view, maybe a picture or two. Wow, look at this. Really beautiful. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Awesome. The Marble Mountains. I've got to go there at least once this year. When the snow's melted off a little more. Man, just as I was speeding up and making some time on the flat top of this hill, I kind of hit this north slope and some more snowfields here, but they're really not too bad. They're hard packed. I can walk right on top of them. They're not much of a climb, so far it's doable. Okay, that was a bit challenging, this steep snowdrift on a steep slope here, and I had to climb over it, but I made it. The branches broke off easy, so I could clear a spot. It must be brand new. And I made it over, and let's keep going to the lake, Lake Hogan. So that's the direction I'm coming from kind of on top of that flat there. And I've been hearing the sound of waterfalls and this drainage down below me, and then the views of the Marble Mountains. This is a great hike. I'm really enjoying myself today. All right, we're rounding the corner into another drainage. It's always kind of exciting to find yourself on new ground. As you can see, we just kind of switched back down to the ridge line here, and now we're following that. The new drainage is on my left, and the one with the waterfall sound is on my right. But there's pretty good views around here, man. Look at down this way, more of the Marble Mountains. I don't know how well you can see those mountains up there, but it's pretty cool. That's the drainage we're going into. We just followed this ridge along and it just switched back to here. And when I saw these mountains, I had to break out the camera. It's very pretty out here. Hey, 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 look what I just spotted here. The first bear track of the journey. Okay, I am guessing merely that Big Blue Lake, Hogan Lake is right there. And then Big Blue Lake is up this rock face here. Quit focusing on my finger. Right up there, where there's a little bit of a stream flowing down. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. Right there, see that little waterfall? And I think Big Blue Lake is right back in there somewhere. I don't see any snow on the approach. It might be doable. All in all, it doesn't look like this trail gets much use. There's even grass growing on parts of the trail, like right here. It's a sure sign it's not getting much use. A little bit of a unique situation here. There's that down log that I couldn't climb over right there. And that's the trail up there. And I was hiking down around it when I noticed that the trail had switched back right here. So I kind of did a no-no and cross-cut the trail. Oops. Bad LNT ethics there. But honestly, it was just the common sense thing to do. Right, this is the trail. It's a little brushy. A little ugly through here. It's an old burn. God, probably 30 years ago. Who knows? But yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. Well, looks like I'm coming out to a little meadow. It looks like the trail goes right through the meadow here. Just go through that cut log. Okay, I've made it to a creek crossing. It looks like it comes in here, but I don't really see where it comes out. It's got to be right there, I would think. I'm going to cross that little log there and find out. Another pretty little meadow here. Okay, as you can see at the end of the meadow, we walk through a little marsh here. Be prepared to get your feet wet a little in the early season, like now. But I actually managed to walk through the brush and keep my feet dry. This is quaking aspen. A young one, but it's a species you don't normally see around here. Okay, down toward the end of the trail here, it definitely hasn't been maintained as well. It's brushy in spots and there's down logs, things like that. Even some fresh storm damage. So just be aware. I think I saw this meadow on the map, and I think it's just before the lake. So we're almost there. Man, and the sound of that waterfall, that's going to be awesome to sleep to tonight. I am really looking forward to staying at this lake. This is so cool. This is what I wanted when I came here. Freaking fantastic. I may have to break out the GPS here too. I'm not sure if I'm on the trail. It's kind of obscured by corn lilies and deadfall. So anyway, I'm going to keep going this way. Alright, it's really hard to follow through this meadow, but on the other side of the meadow, there is a duck to mark where the trail enters the woods again. Right there. Here's a little view of the waterfall from the meadow. Now I'm zoomed in tenfold here, but it's pretty cool. I'm coming over this little rise and I can see the lake down there. Just awesome. Trail goes this way. Alright folks, it's about 11 o'clock and I'm already at camp. But wow, what a camp. Look at this lake. This is beautiful. And I hear that Big Blue Lake is even more beautiful. That's tomorrow's goal. Today I'm just going to relax, maybe shoot some B-roll and enjoy myself and rest and recover a little bit after the brutal day that I had yesterday. This is pretty close to the perfect campsite. And I straightened out the rocks a little bit to make a nice flat surface, because I think I will have a fire tonight and it might come in handy to warm something up next to the fire. And yes, I've camped a little close to the water, but this was the only durable surface I could find, and it's been a previously used camp many times for a long time, so I really have no qualms about camping here. My solitude at this lake may be gone now. I see a couple backpackers approaching. I saw on the map that there is a little pond not too far from the lake, so I thought I'd just go check it out. See if it was the type of thing there'd be fish in or something. And this is what I found. It's a meadow it's actually a lake that's almost turning into a meadow here. But it's pretty. And I also wanted to try out my new little invention. It's kind of a satchel I've made out of the brain of my backpack. So you can see it sitting here on my shoulder. I've got a little padding for it. And it's just mostly I tied a rope to it. And this way I can take this up to Big Blue Lake without having to carry my whole pack. Sorry about my finger in the way. So yeah, that's going to be great. This is odd. I wonder why somebody did this. And I got a campfire going for tonight. I've been watching the lake all day and I haven't seen a trout rise. I don't think there's any fish in this lake. Okay, I take that back. I just saw a trout jump. My bad. Well, playing with the fire for a few hours has kept me busy. Good morning, everybody. It's day 3, and this is my favorite time in the morning. Drinking some coffee. And let me switch cameras so you can see my view. Ah, yes. Not bad. It's gonna be a good day. Well, here I am. My off-trail adventure begins. I just came from camp back that way, and I am going to be heading up here through the trees until I go around or across that little ravine, up over those rocks, and then up to that little kind of saddle there, and then up to the rim. This should be a fun one. Wow, look at me. Almost 54 years old climbing up stuff like this. I don't mean to brag, I'm just a little proud of myself. Okay, it's 7:25 a.m. and I do believe I'm about halfway up the climb, and I think I'm through the worst of it, the steepest and so forth. And let me show you where I'm going to be going from here. Okay, I'm going to be kind of side hilling it up that way after I take a little break. Well, look at this. I'm up on the rim. I've just about made it. And check out this view. That's Hogan Lake, where I camped last night. And now we're heading up north to the Marble Mountains right there. Incredible. And here we go. We're at Big Blue Lake. Look at this amazing place. And it still has ice in it. Don't think I'm going to be taking a dip today. Wow, just beautiful. I told you today was going to be a good day. Just look at this. It's spectacular. I'm privileged to be here. Most definitely. So now I have some options. I can stay up here and enjoy the lake for a few hours, and then go back down to camp and just camp again at Hogan Lake. Or I can just go downhill, see how I feel, and head on out today. I could possibly be home for Father's Day. I'll wait till I get back to camp before I make a final decision on that one. Alright, I'm on my way back down now. Just spent a few, 30 minutes or so here. Had a snack, drank some water, and now I'm heading back to my camp. Most likely I think I'm going to try to get out of here tonight and make it home for Father's Day. Look at this. It's flat ground. I made it back down to the valley. And I just climbed down that. I don't know if you can see how steep that is, but it's pretty freaking steep. There's the waterfall over there. It's pretty awesome. Goodbye, Hogan Lake. This was an awesome trip. I'm gonna miss you. Okay, folks, so if you hadn't guessed, I'm hiking out on my way home. walked about 7 miles back to the trail, or to my truck, and about 3 of it is a road walk. So yeah, that's what's happening now. Okay, so right back there was a stream crossing I stopped at, filled up water, and had lunch. And now I'm on my way. I think I've only made it a half mile, so it's gonna be about 3 miles back to the trailhead, something like that. So, and then another 3 miles on top of that. So, might as well just hit the road here. Oh my, I'm so thankful to be on top of the ridge. That's probably concludes the steepest part of the climb. There's a little bit more climb to do until I get to that flat spot over there. But then it should be all downhill, I hope. Well, until I get to the road back to the truck. Okay, I just noticed something. That is the mountain I climbed over the other day. The trailhead for Taylor Lake is right in there. Let me see if I can zoom it in. See that? Looks like they have an outhouse there or something, and the road goes up. So that's the way I'm going to be hiking out. Too bad there's not just a shortcut here. Yeah, I'm not climbing through that. Okay, now I see the trailhead where my truck is parked. Right there. That's where I started. That might even be the end of my truck right there, that white thing poking out. Okay, there's the stream crossing up to Hogan Lake. This is the trail to Taylor Lake. And I am going to be heading to the trailhead this way. Sorry about that fast pan. Looks like we're back at the trailhead. Okay, I'm walking the road. I got accosted by a couple people at the trailhead who forced me into conversations. But now I'm on my way to the truck. And it's been all downhill so far, which is kind of bothering me because then I have to go back up. I'm literally getting circled by a vulture who probably thinks I'm going to die. I've never had a vulture circle me this close before. It's quite interesting. Alright, he's gone now. I can see the end right below those that antenna. Oh my gosh. Whew. I'm ready to go home.